Good morning students. So in 10th class, in the last video, we completed the PNS, that is peripheral nervous system, and today we will study about the CNS, that is central nervous system. Now what is this central nervous system? Usually in case of human beings, this central nervous system, it consists of brain and spinal cord. So in this section basically we study about the brain and spinal cord. So our CNS, it consists of brain and spinal cord, and this CNS, it develops from ectoderm layer of our embryo. As we know this, our embryo have three different layers: the ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. So our CNS, that is central nervous system, it develops from ectoderm layer of embryo, and this ectoderm layer of embryo, it is arranged in the form of tube-like structure, and that tube-like structure is known as neural tube. This neural tube, it expands and it constricts. It expands and constricts, and it results in the formation of three different regions. These three different regions are known as primary brain vesicles, that is PBV, primary brain vesicles. And these primary brain vesicles, they include, that is prosencephalon, that is your forebrain, the mesencephalon, that is our middle brain, and rhombencephalon, that is our hind brain. So it is our hind brain, this is our mid brain, and this is our forebrain. So the neural tube, it expands and constricts to form three different regions, which are known as primary brain vesicles. These primary brain vesicles are prosencephalon, that is known as our forebrain, mesencephalon, that is known as midbrain, and rhombencephalon, that is known as hindbrain. Now we will study the different functions which are performed by our brain. So our brain, it controls our voluntary movements which are under the control of our brain, all those movements. So our brain, it controls our voluntary movements. These voluntary movements, suppose I want to uplift my hand, so it is under the knowledge, or it is under the control of my brain. So it is a voluntary movement. Walking, swimming, all these are voluntary movements. So our brain, it is responsible for controlling the voluntary movement. Second, it also controls the functioning of our vital involuntary organs present in our body. Third, our brain, it also controls our thirst, our hunger, and it is responsible for controlling thermoregulation in our body. Fourth, it controls the circadian rhythms of our body. Next, it also controls the glandular secretion, that is the secretion of hormones by our glands. It controls the human behavior. It controls our processing of vision means to watch, and it controls the processing of hearing. It controls our speech power, it controls our memory, it controls our emotions, it controls our thoughts, and it also controls our intelligence. So all these functions are performed by our brain. Now, in case of human beings, the human brain is protected by a bony skull, and this bony skull, it is very hard covering of brain, which protects the human brain from the mechanical injury. And inside this bony skull, human brain is covered by three different layers of connective tissue. These three different layers of connective tissue, they are together known as the cranial meninges. Now, the outermost cranial meninges layer is known as dura mater. This dura mater, it is the outermost layer of meninges, and it is a fibrous membrane. It is fibrous in nature. Now, the second membrane, it is known as arachnoid mater, and it is the middle layer of meninges, and this layer, it is a delicate membrane. The third layer is known as pia mater, and pia mater is the innermost layer of meninges, and it is vascular membrane. Now, between these three layers of meninges, there is present a fluid. That fluid is known as cerebrospinal fluid. And this cerebrospinal fluid, it prevents the human brain from some mechanical injury and all that. And this question it is usually asked in your exams about this cerebrospinal fluid and about the bony skull. Okay. Now we will study about the parts of brain and their functions. So first we will start with our forebrain. This forebrain, it is also known as prosencephalon. And our forebrain, it consists of three different parts. That is cerebrum, thalamus and hypothalamus. This cerebrum, it is the largest part of our brain. And this cerebrum, it is divided into two equal halves, which are known as left cerebral hemisphere and right cerebral hemisphere. And both these left and right cerebral hemisphere, they are connected to each other with the help of a mass of fibers, which is known as corpus callosum. Now, the main function of cerebrum includes that it is responsible for voluntary control of our limb actions. So, this cerebrum, it controls our voluntary actions. That means the left hemisphere or left cerebral hemisphere, it controls the voluntary limb action of right side of the body. That means it controls the or even the left hemisphere, it controls the voluntary limb action of right side of the body, whereas the right hemisphere or right cerebral hemisphere controls the voluntary limb action of left side of the body, that is vice versa. And now this cerebrum, it is responsible for controlling our speech. It controls our speech, it controls our memory, it controls our thoughts, it is responsible for controlling our emotions, and it is responsible for controlling our intelligence also. Now the next part of this forebrain or prosencephalon is thalamus. This thalamus, it is wrapped by cerebrum. So thalamus is wrapped by cerebrum, and this thalamus, it is the major coordinating center. The main function is, it is the major coordinating center for motor and sensory signaling. Further, this thalamus, it directs the sensory impulse. From lower parts of our brain and spinal cord to the appropriate regions of cerebrum. Now, the next part of our forebrain is hypothalamus. That is the third part of our hypothalamus. This hypothalamus, it is present just beneath thalamus, just beneath or just below thalamus. And the main function of this hypothalamus includes, it is responsible for controlling our body temperature. Hypothalamus is also responsible for controlling our urge for eating. It is responsible for controlling our urge for drinking. And this hypothalamus, it contains some cells. So it contains cells which are responsible for releasing the hypothalamic hormones. Now we will study about the midbrain. This midbrain, it is also known as mesencephalon. And this midbrain, it lies or it is located between thalamus and hypothalamus of forebrain and pons of hindbrain. So it is located between thalamus and hypothalamus of forebrain and pons of hindbrain. Now come to the functions of midbrain. So this midbrain, it controls our sleeping cycles. So our sleeping cycles or our sleeping process, it is controlled by our midbrain. Secondly, it is also responsible for controlling our body temperature. Third, it helps in our motor movements, that is related to our nervous system. So it helps in our helps in motor movements. Next, it also helps in the movement of our eyes, our auditory and visual processing. So it helps in our auditory visual processing. Next, it regulates the dopamine production. This midbrain, it is responsible for controlling or it regulates the production of dopamine. Next, this midbrain, it is responsible for controlling the left and right brains, or even you can say the forebrain and the hindbrain, in order to bring the maximum activities by our brain. Now, the third part of our brain is hindbrain, which is also known as rhombencephalon. And this hindbrain, it consists of three parts, that is the cerebellum, pons and medulla oblongata. First we will discuss about the cerebellum. So this cerebellum, it is second largest part of our brain and it is located just back of skull. Further, come to the functions of this cerebellum. Cerebellum, it is responsible for controlling our body posture. So this cerebellum, it controls our body posture. Secondly, this cerebellum, it is responsible for maintenance of our muscle tones. So our functioning of our muscle, it is under the control of our cerebellum. Third, it is responsible for equilibrium of the body. So in case of an alcoholic person, if you have seen the trembling by the alcoholic person, so that alcohol, it affects our cerebellum and due to which the posture and equilibrium gets disturbed. Now the next function of this cerebellum is, it is responsible for controlling the movement of our voluntary muscles. It is responsible for controlling the movement of our voluntary muscles. So these are the functions of cerebellum. Now come to the second part of hindbrain, that is pons. This pons, it contains the fibers and these fibers forms a bridge-like structure between the midbrain and the medulla oblongata. Further, this pons, it helps in eye movement. It is responsible for controlling the facial expressions. It helps in chewing process. It helps in, or it controls the swallowing process, and it is responsible for controlling the secretion of saliva and tears. Further, this pons, it also plays important roles in the regulation of respiratory process or respiration. So all these are the functions of our pons. Now the third part of our hindbrain, it is medulla oblongata. This medulla oblongata, it is the lowermost part of our brain, that is situated near about our neck region. So it is lowermost part of our brain and it is connected to our spinal cord. So it is the medulla oblongata is the part of our brain that is connected to spinal cord. Now the main functions that are carried out by this medulla oblongata includes that it is responsible for controlling our respiration process. So the respiratory process, it is under the control of medulla oblongata. The second function of medulla oblongata is that it is responsible for controlling our cardiovascular reflexes. So whatever the functioning of nearly the heart, that is cardiovascular reflexes, they are controlled or they are under the control of our medulla oblongata. The next function of medulla oblongata includes that it is responsible for controlling the gastric secretions in our body. So all the gastric secretions are under the control of medulla oblongata. Now the last and fourth function of this medulla oblongata is that it controls the blood pressure. That is the most important function, that is control of respiration and blood pressure. So this medulla oblongata, it controls our blood pressure, that is our BP. Thank you, students.